Welcome to the NBA Prop Report here at FTN Bets for Monday, June 14th. Two more games in the NBA playoffs going off tonight. We got the Philadelphia 76ers taking on the Atlanta Hawks, and then the Utah Jazz taking on the LA Clippers. Both of these games are sitting at 2-1 right now, with Philly being up 2-1 on Atlanta and Utah being up 2-1 on the Clippers. So we have four edges that we're looking at here tonight. So let's get into them. We'll start with the 76ers because that's the first game. So first one I'm going to talk about is Furkan Korkmaz points over 10.5. This is my biggest bet of the day. 3/4 of a unit, minus 118, the best price I could find over on DraftKings Sportsbook. So here's the deal with this. Danny Green is out today, which means that we're going to get more minutes for Korkmaz. The 76ers have a lot of guys in this team that are not great shooters, right? So when you kick out to a guy like Ben Simmons, you're not really kicking out to Ben Simmons for him to knock down shots. You're kicking out for Ben Simmons for him to swing the ball around to a shooter, which is going to wind up being guys like Seth Curry and Furkan Korkmaz today. The reason why I like him today is that without Danny Green, you're going to see a lot more minutes for him. He is a guy who is kind of one of their scorers with their second unit, their bench unit. And he's also going to get some more minutes with the starters here today as well. So 10.5, not a massive amount of points for him. We have seen him as a starter before. He's been able to get into double digits. Minus 118, I thought was a pretty good price. I would play this anywhere up to about minus 125. After minus 125, I'd probably drop down to like half a unit here. I think that would be where my cutoff is. So right now, like I said, we can get it at minus 118 on DraftKings. So I like this one a lot. Another one that I'm taking here today, it's a little bit of a flyer, but I'll explain it all to you here, which is why I wrote this up a lot. Joel Embiid over 3.5 assists. It's paying plus 128 on FanDuel. Now, most sites have this at 2.5 as the Embiid assist prop number, but the juice on it is like minus 175, minus 185 on some of these sites. FanDuel bumped it from 2.5 to 3.5 assists and is offering plus 128 on it right now. So let me kind of set up the situation here. Joel Embiid had 40 points against the Hawks in game 2. In game 3, they realized they can't let Embiid beat them. They have to make other guys hit shots and do things. And what they wound up doing is they wound up double teaming him quite a bit, trying to get the ball out of his hands. The reason why Philly won that game is because his teammates all made shots in that game. I think Embiid finished that game with 8 assists. He only had 27 points, but he had 8 assists. So again, a lot of those times when he was going one-on-one in game 2, you know, when they brought the double teams and he had to give the ball up, those are going to count as assists for him. So I do think there's a chance that he's going to have an elevated assist number here today. He's a very capable passer. He can see over defenses. I could see over defenses. He will kick the ball out if his teammates are open there. He can hit guys cutting to the basket as well. So I do think that there's a chance he gets over this number. Now, again, at plus 128, this is probably more likely to fail than succeed. The reason why I like it, though, is that I do see a path there for it. I think it's closer to a 50-50 proposition at 3.5, and we're getting a price of plus 128 right now. If this was at minus 110, I wouldn't have any reason to want to be involved in it. But at plus 128, I do think this is a good bet. So let's go to the second game here right now. Paul George, last game, on fire, 6 of 10 from 3, finished with 31, 34 points, something like that. Now, I'm not expecting him to shoot that well again, right? Like, the guy's not going to go out there and shoot, 60% from 3-point range every game. But does he really even need to here if the over is 2.5? I mean, we do expect him to take 7 to 10 3-point attempts today. So even at 7 to 10, we only need him to hit 3. So if he shoots like 30, 40% from 3-point range, which is basically what he does, he's going to be able to get over this right now. So I do think this is another one that I like. He's playing more minutes now. I do like this Paul George over 2.5 3-pointers here. Minus 114 on DraftKings was the best price I saw. But if you're not on DraftKings, you should get on DraftKings anyway if you're not. But if you're not on DraftKings, it's minus 115 at like every other book. So I think DraftKings just dropped it down a penny to be the one that pops up in some of these some of these new screeners and stuff that people are making. So the last one I want to talk about here, Donovan Mitchell points, right? So every other site has this at 30.5, minus 105, minus 110, minus 115, minus 112, minus 114, somewhere in that range, right? You can get it at 29.5 on BetMGM and only have to give up about 5 or 10 basis points on a lot of those numbers. So minus 120 at 29.5, I like a little bit better than minus 105 or minus 115 at 30.5. I mean, basically, you look at it this way. Mike Conley is very likely going to be out this game, or if not, he's questionable and may not be 100%. When Conley is in the game, Utah actually plays a little bit slower. Their defense is better. I think about 3 to 4 points better on the defensive side, but their offense scores 5 or 6 points less when Conley is out there, mostly due to the pace, not because of the efficiency. It's really more about the pace. Part of that reason is that Donovan Mitchell has the ball in his hand and is playing point guard and is attacking and is being more aggressive when Mike Conley's not on the floor and he has to do a little bit more there. So I do think that's going to be the case here today, at least for parts of the game, even if Conley does play. So I do like the Donovan Mitchell over 29 points here at minus 120. Like I said, I'd rather take the minus 120 to get the 29 than drop down to like a minus 105 or a minus 110 and have to take like 30 or even 31, which I think one site had this at. So there you go. Those are the 4 edges we have for the NBA prop report today here on FTN Bets at the FTN Network. Be back every day as we always are. Remember, if you guys want to see the bets that any of our other experts are putting in, you get over to FTN Bets, you click on the bet tracker, you'll be able to see all this. If there's another prop that you're interested in and you're trying to find the best price, get over to the prop shop on FTN Bets. It's free to use. You just type in the name of any player and it'll give you what the price and what the prop number is at whatever books are available in your state. This is how I use it to be able to do this video every day. And I think it's something that everybody else should be using too. So remember, it's free. You don't have to sign up for anything to use it. Get over there, check it out, and make sure you're always getting the best price on whatever you're putting in there. Good luck tonight, everybody.